It is not acceptable to call me a retard or call yourself or your friends retarded when they do something foolish.
The R word is the same as every minority slur. Treat it that way and don't use it.
Spread the word to end the word.
Can I play?
Hey, no.
Would you want this to be your little brother? One in 6 students are bullied regularly. 9 in 10 kids with autism are bullied regularly.
In your own words, what is bullying?
What? I don't know what bullying is. Really?
Bullying is verbal, mental, and physical abuse towards another person or child.
Bullying is when you take advantage of someone else, maybe somebody that's weaker or someone that doesn't have the confidence that they should have, and you take advantage of them by either pushing them, abusing them verbally, or just making them feel not so good about themselves.
It's the way that bullies express their feelings because they have no friends.
My idea of bullying is when one or more people gang up on a certain person.
Bullying is when a person makes another person feel inferior.
Bullying can occur through verbal means such as derogatory comments and bad names either in person or via cyberbullying. Why do you think developmentally challenged kids are more of a target for bullying?
I believe developmentally challenged kids are more of a target for bullying because in most cases they are unable to defend themselves.
I think they're more of a target because the bully sees them as a very soft, easy target. Someone that won't come back at them and someone that they know for sure they could take advantage of. So that's why they become an easier target.
Because the bullies have something to make fun of.
They're a target because they're different, and because they're different, people think of them as not normal, and they're not considered in the in crowd.
Yes, a lot of times developmentally children aren't even aware that they are being bullied. Oftentimes these children are bullied because they don't retaliate back.
What do you think are signs of someone being bullied?
Signs of someone being bullied are nervousness, depression, withdrawal, and in some cases, unexplained bruises.
Signs of bullying are when people are quiet, shy, and sometimes they probably be bipolar, like maybe they're quiet 1 minute and then they start screaming another minute.
If you see somebody sitting alone, being shy, or not talking to anybody.
A sign of someone being bullied is when if there's a group of kids in the schoolyard, one or two of them might approach somebody and be picking on them, either pushing them or yelling at them, calling them names, and making that person feel like they don't belong with the rest of the crowd. And they may walk away with their head down or their shoulders curled and show signs that they're being taken advantage of and don't feel good about themselves.
Signs of bullying are a child may be withdrawn or not want to express their feelings. If the child is avoiding certain places or does not want to go to school, mood changes and the child may be more nervous.
Ongoing sadness, withdrawal from others, losing interest in favorite activities, and trouble sleeping or eating.
Do you believe schools do enough to prevent bullying? If so, how? If not, how can they improve?
I cannot speak for all schools, but from personal experience, the school I worked at for 5 years does have anti-bullying workshops for teachers and anti-bullying campaigns for students. Incidents of bullying were taken very seriously and were handled with harsh punishment.
When teachers have a fight brought to their attention, they immediately try to stop it and break it up and do whatever it takes for them to stop it.
I don't think they do enough to prevent bullying in school.
I think most of the schools are doing enough. There's a much tougher policy on the bullying and the no bullying rule and taking advantage today, whereas years ago it was just swept under the rug. But today I think the schools do. There's a policy where they'll have, if you get caught and found that you are the bully, you'll be suspended from school or your parents called up to the school and made an example of. And I think after once or twice that happens, you'll be expelled from the school. So I think the schools are doing enough.
I think schools are starting to do more about bullying. They have set up anti-bullying contracts that students sign, and I have seen peer mediation in the older grades to help resolve situations of bullying.
What ways can you stop bullying?
Ways that I can stop bullying is by stressing to the students that bullying is a very serious offense and will not be tolerated.
Even though I wouldn't want to get involved in a fight between two people, I would absolutely help one of my friends out if they needed it. If two people are having an argument, I would absolutely get involved and try to sort out their fight and their reason for argumenting.
If I see somebody bullying, I could help them and tell the person who's bullying to stop.
As a parent, I can stop bullying by teaching my children and my children's friends and kids that I come in contact with, where I'm a positive influence on their lives, and teach them not to become bullies, and teach them to take care of each other, take care of their friends, and let them know what that feels like to be bullied. That's a terrible feeling, to be a victim, no matter what kind of victim you are. So that's the way I think I can stop some bullying.
Awareness and discussion of bullying for teachers, school, staff, parents, and students can help with prevention of bullying. I think if there's stricter policies and consequences for bullies, it may prevent the bullies from bullying others.
As a teacher, do you see bullying in the classroom? What kind of bullying do you witness?
If you consider 3-year-old behavior bullying, then the bullying I've witnessed in my classroom is pushing, hitting, and grabbing toys, etc. from other children.
According to the bullying statistics of 2010, there are about 2.7 million students being bullied each year, by about 2.1 students taking on the role of the bully.
Every 7 minutes, a child is bullied. Every day, 3 kids commit suicide due to bullying.
Suicide has become one of the most severe consequences of bullying.
New questions today about how schools and police should respond when bullying borders on assault. A 16-year-old autistic boy is sucker punched at his high school, and he's told Dylan's father they could not be criminally charged with assault because there was no bloodshed. The kid needs to bleed in order for the cops to arrest the assaulter.
When a child has trouble speaking, it's making them much more vulnerable to things like bullying.
7 Action News investigator Heather Catallo broke this story this morning about a mom whose son with autism has been bullied and didn't have the ability to tell anyone.
Heartbreaking for parents to learn that their child is being bullied at school. But for one family in Ohio, the taunting turned tragic when their son committed suicide. Now the parents say it's the school that's responsible for his death. 9 teenagers in Massachusetts face charges of bullying a 15-year-old girl until she finally killed herself.
Seth Walsh, a 13-year-old from Tehachapi, California, took his own life because of bullying at his school that went unaddressed.
Many people have taken steps to counteract bullying. The church teaches that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself.
The golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This has been the most basic principle Christians have learned since a very young age.
All commandments are summed up in the sentence, you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love does no wrong to a neighbor, therefore love is a fulfilling of the law. Despite our uniqueness and individual qualities, we are all God's children and should all be treated the same.
Do
unto
others
as
you
would
have
them
do
unto
you.
Bullying has been a large topic in media, especially television. These shows include SpongeBob and Patrick are getting bullied by Squidward in the show SpongeBob. Cody being bullied by Zach, his brother, in the show The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And Eeyore getting bullied by everyone else in the show Winnie the Pooh. And also being bullied are Dog from Cat Dog and other characters. The The mentioning of bullying in television has had a positive influence on children because it's very relatable because their favorite characters are going through the same things that they are, and it shows that they're not alone. It also doesn't glorify bullying, and it shows them how to cope with it, and it gives levity to a very serious real-life issue.
Hello everyone, it's time to get serious. Bullying in today's schools are getting too much. Not just for autism, but bullying in general. Let's discuss autism first. It is hard enough growing up differently to other children and teenagers without the hassle of dealing with other related negativity. People with autism already have trouble communicating with others and making friends, but when bullied it makes it even harder. A lot of people with autism already feel isolated and scared around their peers and even sometimes their own family. It doesn't help when people hurt them with words as well as fists. Words hurt too. Calling us dumb, retarded or freak does not make you stronger, it makes you weaker. People with autism are actually very bright and gifted, you just have to look past them, not at them. Bullying happens in schools all around the world and not just disabled children. Teenagers and adults go through it. Everyday people too. The suicide rate is going up too frequently these days and it is to stop. By calling someone names and making fun of them just because they are different, you are creating something that you would not dare want to meet. So many bully targets are the result to school shootings or murders. Some bully targets do not make it to live past 16 from suicide. Would you like to be the reason for someone losing their life? Please do not be a part of bullying. Stand up for those that need it the most. You may save someone's life.
Think about your school day.
Think about all the laughs you have.
You probably take for granted that the only torture you have is all the homework your teachers give you.
Some kids dread going to school every day because they're harassed by their classmates.
This includes verbal and physical abuse.
Day in and day out, kids not only dread going to school, but also dread going home because of this torture.
Now, how would you feel if this were you every day?
Think before you bully. The most common types of bullying are hitting, threatening, intimidating, malicious teasing, and taunting, name-calling, making sexual remarks, and stealing or damaging belongings. Indirect attacks such as spreading rumors or encouraging others to reject or exclude someone. Every 7 minutes, a child is bullied.
1 out of 4 students will be abused by another youth. 1 out of 5 admit to being a bully or of doing some bullying. 280,000 students are physically attacked in secondary schools each month. 160,000 students miss school each day for fear of being bullied. 77% of students are bullied mentally, verbally, and physically. Cyberbullying statistics are rapidly approaching similar numbers. 43% fear embarrassment in the bathroom at school. Bullying can have a significant impact on both child and teenage students. Students who are bullied often suffer from anxiety, fear, withdrawal, low self-esteem, and poor concentration. A bullied student will often avoid school, have lower grades, and become socially isolated. There have been numerous reports of suicide due to bullying.
Effects on bullies. Bullying is often a warning sign that children and teens are heading for trouble and are at risk for serious violence. Teens, particularly boys, who bully are more likely to engage in anti-social behavior, example, vandalism, shoplifting, truancy, and drug use, into adulthood. They are 4 times more likely than non-bullies to be convicted of crimes by age 24, with 60% of bullies having at least one criminal conviction.
Bullying. Physical, verbal, or psychological attacks or intimidation against a person who cannot properly defend himself or herself. It includes 2 key components. 1. Repeated harmful acts. 2. Imbalance of power.
Take 1 minute out of your day. Go to www.r-word.org/r-word-pledge.aspx and pledge your support. Spread the word to end the word.
wanna be anybody else.